Rise and shine, beautiful people. Rise and shine. It is a beautiful morning here in the greater Dallas Fort Worth area. I'm Coach Ricardo Miller, and I'm excited about this morning's talk. There's been a lot of things happening lately because, you know what? The first quarter of the year is almost gone. The first quarter of the year is almost gone, and the truth be told, there were people who came into this year who said, you know what? 2021 is going to be my year because 2020 was overtaken by the pandemic. And so now there were a lot of people who came into this new year with anticipation of experiencing something greater. But the reality of it is, because we're creatures of habit, most of us went right back to doing the same thing. Well, here's the deal. I want you to take control of your life. You are the subtotal of the choices and the decisions you make on a daily basis. Every day that I wake up, I tell myself the rest of my life is going to be the best of my life. If you're watching this right now, I need you to declare that with confidence, accept it, and own it within your spirit. Now, I got a guest this morning, man. Listen, this man has put in the work to become who he is today, to make the contribution that he is making to humanity. Dr. Kevin Wilbon, how are you doing today, sir?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. I mean, to be able to show up this morning and help people, this is what I enjoy doing. I tell people I'm like a fish in water. You know, when a fish is in water, it's in its element, and the beauty of the fish emerges. And I mean, it just goes to a whole new level in relations to that fish. You take that fish out of the water, it has the potential to die real fast. And you try to ask the fish to do anything outside of water, it starts to look stupid.
That is true. When you're out of your element, just like, you throw your hands up, you just don't know what to do. So when you're in the element, you be rolling. You're rolling your element.
So tell our viewing audience a little bit about yourself quickly.
Okay, before I start, I've always liked to give thanks to God, who is the driving force in my life. Without God, nothing is possible. And I also like to thank my spiritual leader. His name is Bishop C. Anthony Muse, and my first lady, Pat Lawson Muse, and they're with the Ark of Safety Christian Church in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Okay, now that I did that, I like everybody to know that, my name is Dr. Kevin Wilbon Sr. I'm from Washington, D.C., and, born and raised in the, urban neighborhoods of Washington, D.C. My mother and father had 5 kids. I am the sixth of 5 kids. And what I mean by that, it's 5 boys and 1 girl. And that's how we were raised. we were raised that way. I'm in the middle. And, when you're in the middle, it's tough being in the middle.
I'm a middle child. Yeah.
So you understand where I'm coming from with this.
Yeah.
It's real tough, but, I am, someone that's a very, very passionate. I always felt like I was ahead of my time because of the things that I've done, in my life. And, I've, experienced many things, at an early age, at a young age. And, the things that I experienced is what I'll be talking about today to you. And everything, is just, I'm just so happy to be able to share, what I've been through and what I'm still going through with you on your prestigious show. I've been in the military, 24 years. I'm a retired military veteran.
Tell us a little bit about that. We appreciate your service to the country.
Thank you. Okay, I enlisted in the service right straight out of high school. I was young. I was 17 years old, going on 18 at the time. And I wanted to play basketball in high school. I was one of the short guys, and back then, in the late 70s, the short guy wasn't popular.
Okay. That's before Spud Webb.
Right. Exactly. It was before Spud Webb. Spud Webb, once he came, he changed the whole game. Although you had Calvin Murphy that was out there way before Spud Webb, but he really didn't get the recognition like Spud Webb. When you dunking at 5'5", you're going to get that type of, you're going to get that type of recognition. Yeah. Well, my dreams didn't come true that way. I wanted to play, but I was a very good basketball player, but like I said, it didn't, happen the way I wanted to happen. And my parents could not afford for me to go to college. Okay. So I've always wanted to go to college, and my main focus in college was to play basketball. But Didn't happen that way. Enlisted in the service, went in the military, and and I have to say this real quick. The best advice my mom ever gave me, because when I went into the military, that first week I was there, I wanted to come home.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with it. It was a whole lot to deal with back then. You had the racism, and then I was in the South. I was down in South Carolina, so it was real tough back then. And I called home to my mom, and my mom told me, you know what? You stick it out. You don't have a place here anymore. When you left, that bed is taken. So you got that, and then that was her. That was her words. The bed is taken. So what do you?
Let's stick a pin there right now, man. Listen, we need some mamas to listen to this morning, man. Listen, Dr. Wilbon, he is taking off, man. Listen, mamas with a principle, man. A mama who can understand the importance of sticking with a plan, or with a principle that allows for the development of a child. Now, there are a lot of ladies who watch this platform. Did you hear what? Listen, my mama said, listen, if you ain't contributing to the house bill when you got a job, you ain't gonna be in this house. you gotta contribute, because you're of age where I had a job and I was wanting to spend my money on other stuff. I came home and my clothes was on the porch. Because if you got a job of age, you're gonna need to contribute. There's a principle there that to this day I take care of my responsibility, because my mama said, you got to learn how to take care of your responsibility. Yes. You said, your mother said, listen, there's no longer a bed here for you. You need to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. Don't come back home. Do what you got to do. When you left the nest, you left everything, so somebody else can have your bed now. So you need to go finish what you started and do what you got to do. Yeah. And that was the greatest. And I mean, till today, bless my mom's soul. My mom and my father, they passed on. I know they're looking at me. They're watching everything that I'm doing. But when my mom told me that was the best advice she could have ever given me, because that there propelled me to do all the things that I've done. And that sticks with me until today. Yeah. And the same thing that she tells me, I say the same thing to my kids. Yeah. In order to do what you want to do, you have to do the things that needs to get done. And if you don't do that, you will not reach your goal. So, I believe in the cliche, work hard, play hard. Yeah. But when you work hard, you put everything into what you're doing. Yeah. And in that way you can relax. You can, sit back and, reap the benefits and the fruits of your labor.
I like that.
And that's exactly what I tell anyone, not just my kids, anybody that I come across, the people that I mentor, the people that I coach. I let them know nothing is easy. Yeah. And if it's that easy, trust and believe me, if you're walking through an easy door, I guarantee before you know it, that door is going to slam in your face. Wow. Because you feel like, okay, I got it made. And you don't have it made. You really don't. But when it's hard to open a door, you're going to keep forcing yourself, and you're going to keep pushing until that door is wide open. Right. And then you'll know that, you know what, this means a whole lot, and it was worth doing what I'm doing, because I took on a very heavy task and I passed it, and I did what I needed to do.
Let me ask you this. How important is it for a person to have that relentless fight of determination to go after what they say they want? Because obviously we all have that quit in us, but we also have that win in us. Determination, the grit, the fight, the I'm coming for mine. How important is that in winning?
Well, the reason why that is so important in winning, because you gotta look at it at two perspectives. The first perspective is you're trying to get to a place that the other person is trying to get to. Yeah. So if your determination is not as strong as that person that you're going up against, you're going to lose. Wow. So I always say that the more time and effort you put into whatever you're doing, it's going to pay off. And that's just like a basketball game. You have a defense and you have an offense. Okay. That defense is trying to shut the offense down. And then the offense is trying to knock the defense off his feet. So the person that perseveres and put more effort toward end up winning. And they always say defense win games. Yeah. I beg to differ, because my thing is, if you scoring all the time and the defense can't stop you from scoring, then it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah.
So determination and grit is exactly what you said. If you don't have that, you're not going to go far. And you have to have that attitude also to go with it, because the next person is trying to do exactly what you're doing. And it's a doggy dog world out there.
Listen, it is, man, listen, you said so much just now that I just want to pull from. It's a doggy dog world. Can you develop grit and determination? If so, what are some of the necessary elements that one must build on in order to establish what may have not been there before, or it's there but it's weak? How do we enhance grit? How do we enhance determination so that the rest of our lives could be the best of our lives, and so we can get more out of life?
I think the way that you bring that out of a person is to, first of all, let them know you have to be knowledgeable first.
Yeah.
You have to be knowledgeable about exactly what you're trying to do or where you're trying to go, in your life. And to be knowledgeable, it takes a little bit of education. I push education because I have 5 degrees, but I push education not only because of that, but everything that I wanted to learn, I needed to, learn about, I needed to read about. And and then you have YouTube, you have the website. We didn't have all of that back then. So it's a little easier for the next person to come up, but to get that determination and grit out of them, they must know first they have to face some tasks. They have to see exactly what they're made of. Give them a task and see how hard they go within that task. And when you see that they're not giving it 100%, then that's when you try to get that out of them. So, that's one of the ways that you can get the grit and determination out of a person.
I like it. Let's talk about education. I heard you mention that. I'm a strong believer. What you don't know can hurt you, destroy you. And the Bible teaches us is that my people, it's his people. You love God, he loves you, but you're still suffering. And it could be because you don't know something. You made a commitment to continual education to the point where you got a number of degrees. Talk about your degrees and your commitment to continual education.
Okay. First I want to talk about, the first degree that I got, which was associate's degree. The reason why I started off with associate's degree, because being in the military, we did a whole lot of moving around. I've been overseas 3 times, and, I've been to the, Persian Gulf War, and it's hard to really buckle down and get a chance to go to school when you're moving around like that. I was actually a platoon sergeant of 100 soldiers. I had 100 soldiers in my care. So it was kind of hard to do that. But with my associate's degree, I just wanted to see exactly, where I wanted to go, because I really didn't have, a degree plan in mind. I just wanted to get to college and get the feel of it. So I got my associate's degree, in general studies. Then after I did that, I said, you know what, this wasn't that bad. I need to take on something a little bit more. So I went back to school to get my bachelor's degree. And I ended up getting a bachelor's degree in management. And the reason why I chose management, because of where I was in my life in the military, because I was managing a whole lot of people, managing different things. I was a logistics officer as well. And I figured, getting my degree in management would enhance what I was doing and would make me a better leader. So I did that. And then, from there, it just took off. I went on and got my MBA. And I got my MBA because I said, once I get out, I may want to start a business. I may want to, go into business with someone or start a business. And that MBA really helped me. And, from there, I shot up to a master's in education. I got my master's in education because I figured, if I'm going to, be in a leadership role, I should know how to teach. I should be able to lead and teach. And then that led to my doctorate degree in education. And I ended up getting my doctorate.
Nice. And congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. And then after getting my doctorate degree, that's when I came to, a realization that, I can do something with what I got. I can share what I got. I can actually go out and mentor and help people. And I'm talking about all ages, all the way from elementary school, all the way up to college. And that's, I really think that having all of those degrees really helped me. It's like a stepping stone. I took baby steps to get to my ultimate goal, because I was told that, by numerous of people, you're not going to become a doctor. You're not going to make that. And not in those words exactly, but, I got tripped up along the way, from people, my peers and also my professors. They didn't want me to make it, but I did it. And God is good all the time. But I've always believed in prayer. I always believed in, if I had God in my life, there's nothing I couldn't do. And I did it.
Yeah. Let's talk about the fact that you own the Wilbon Basketball Incorporation. What inspired you to establish that?
What inspired me to do the Wilbon Basketball Incorporation is that because I've always wanted to play basketball and I didn't get that chance to do that. And coming from an urban background, I had people talk to me, when I was young. And, they used to always tell me, if you can't make it that way, there are other ways to still stay involved with that, that entity that you wanted to do. So I figured, by starting off an organization that would help all kids, no race, all, races, doesn't matter, females, males, I would start this organization. And it's an organization that only focuses on basketball. It focuses on life lessons. It focuses on nutrition. It focuses on fitness, to enhance whatever that they're trying to do. But my main reason for the Wilbon Basketball Organization is because, I wasn't able to play basketball, but I can help the next person, that really want to do that. And, back then where I came up from, they didn't have those type of organizations, although they had the recreations, the recreation we used to go to back then. It was good, it was fun, but they really didn't, they didn't have the big picture like I got. And, by doing that and with this organization, I helped a lot of kids, and parents, they love it. They love it because they trust me. They understand where I come from. And I give them, everything, that I have. I teach them everything that I have.
Let's talk about some principles to take control of your life. Some practical things that really comes out, that pop out. I dubbed this eight keys to taking control of your life. Just you've established a life of discipline, drive, and determination to get what you believe was on your heart to have been achieved up to this point. Okay. Someone watching this right now, what are some of those life principles? Just shoot them out. Just help them to understand. Listen, if you want to take control of your life, you can. Okay. They're just decisions that has to be made. You may have to build a team.
That's exactly right.
You build a village. You build a support system around you.
Yes.
I've been teaching. Someone is assigned to help you.
Right.
Someone is assigned to help you. You're not alone. And so when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I want you to share some practical things that you believe if a person is committed to changing their life, they must apply these things. Go for it.
Okay. First of all, you should have a purpose and a goal. I think that you have a game plan, a purpose, and a goal. That right there will set your platform. Without a purpose and a goal, you're going nowhere. Yeah. So the first thing is you have to have a purpose and a goal. Yeah. The second thing that you have to do is you got to establish leadership. Wow. Yeah. You have to establish leadership. That's because in order to get to the next level, in order to have people trust you and believe in you, you have to be a great leader. Yeah. And if you're not a great leader, they're not going to follow you. Yeah. And that's in anything. That's not even just in business. That's in life. That's in family. It has to be a leader. Someone has to be a leader. So that's another principle. Trust. Trust is another one. If you don't have that trust and they don't trust you, you're going to be in for a long, whatever you're trying to do, because trust goes a long way. And with trust, that takes time. Yep. That takes a lot of time because, especially with what's going on today, who can you trust? Yes. So you have to establish that type of trust, especially if you're building a team. Yeah. And if you have a team of a lot of people, then it's going to be tough. Yeah. But you always got to have a right-hand man and a left-hand man. Yeah. And if you don't have that, then it's going to be hard for you to make it. Okay. Right. The next thing, teamwork and commitment. Yeah. Teamwork and commitment. Yeah. You have to work together. It has to be like a well-oiled machine. You have to be able to work together and be committed to what you're doing. Don't give up the things, everything is not going to go your way. You're going to hit obstacles. You're going to hit bumps along the way at all times. And you don't know when it's going to come. But the thing is, you have to stay with it. You got to be totally committed to it. And if you're not committed to it, then, your business is going nowhere.
Wow.
Your life, is just going to be at a standstill. Yeah. And to me, I also think that this is my main thing, communication. Yeah. If you don't communicate, wow, it's going to be a breakdown. It's going to be a breakdown because things are done and said in different ways. Yeah. And if you don't understand what the person is trying to put down, that communication, it's no good. You have to have communication. They have to understand where you're coming from, and you have to understand where they're coming from. It's a two-way street. Although you may be the leader or you're in charge or whatever, you still have to listen to your employees. You have to listen to the people you're working with. You have to listen to the people that's playing for you. So those are a lot of keys. And like I said, I've also known that in the past, that when you're trying to get to the next level and the next plateau, you look at other people that made it before you. You see what they do. You look at the things that they do and the things that they didn't do right. Yeah. And the things that they didn't do right, not to do those things, And, a lot of people, they don't do that. They figure, well, I'm the boss, I'm a leader, I'm good. You can always learn. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to gain more knowledge. I'll be 60 years old this year. And my thing is this, you're still never too old. You're never too old to learn. Right. And that's one of the things that I'll be talking about later on, because, a lot of people look at me, they're like, why are you out there doing this now? Yeah. I've lived a full life. I've done a lot in my life. Yeah. But if I can help the next person, that's what I'm going to do.
Dr. Wilbon, you mentioned something just now that I think I would like to dive in just for a minute, and that is learning from the things people aren't doing right. I think sometimes we familiarize ourselves so much with what is being done right that we disregard it. I grew up in the Bahamas. I was born and raised in the Bahamas. But for those of you guys that are watching, I was on an island, a small island, many years ago. I was as a kid, and later on I discovered something about fish. Let's go back to the fish element. And so I love the fact that God created us as human beings. And Jason, based in Canada, is watching. Jason, you don't know but no fishing. Jason, you were a city boy. Angela Nixon, I don't know. You're in the Bahamas. Are you familiar with fishing off the rocks? But anyhow.
Wow.
Dr. Wilbon, I remember going with my cousins and my brother, and we went fishing, and in the Bahamas, you could see the school of fish because the water's just so clear. You could see them. Fish travel in schools, ladies and gentlemen. So we're looking at the fish, and we threw our lines out there, and one fish is caught, and another fish is caught. And I often thought about it, that fish has to be stuck on slow a little bit, because so many fish went missing, and we can come back 2 days later and a school of fish is still there. Why didn't the fish say, hey, we need to have a meeting and talk about moving somewhere else, man, because people are going missing up in this particular area? Obviously, this is not a good spot to live. Right. Now, I say that to say that there are a lot of people, when they say, I want to live life effectively. Well, sometimes you may not be able to identify the right things to do. But I know the world is full of a lot of things that's the wrong things.
That's exactly right.
You got to get to the point where you realize, okay, if I do what he did, I will get what he got. I don't like what he got, so I'm not going to do what he did. Talk to us, sir.
That's right. And that's exactly, what I was trying to convey. When you see people do the wrong thing, why would you go right back and do the same thing that they do? And that goes right back to the school of fish. If you know that later on down the road, somebody's getting ready to come and hook you, why would you stay there? You need to move. Why do that? And, and I think that's one of the problems with a lot of leaders, a lot of people in businesses and stuff. They look at all the right things and they stay on that, but they don't look at the wrong things, because the wrong things are the ones that's going to attack you later on down the road. And if okay, this person is not prospering because of this, then not to go that route. To go to another route. Mm-hmm. And that's what I try to convey to the people that I talk to, the people I come across, the people that comes into my organization and the people that I coach. I'm a head track and field coach at Southern Maryland Christian Academy, which is in White Plains, Maryland. And this will be my second year coaching them. And our first year, I had like about 25 kids, and out those 25 kids, maybe only 3 ever ran track.
Wow.
But those other 22 kids, they watched everything that these kids did that ran track, and it was easy because they paid attention to detail.
Yeah.
They paid attention to detail, and they knew once these other 3 weren't doing what they were supposed to do, they knew not to do that.
Wow.
Because they wanted to be successful. And I was just giving you an analogy because it also goes not just in life, in business, but it goes in sports as well. Everything is hand in hand. Effective living, it can go across the board. If you want to live effectively, you have to play effectively.
Come on.
Work effectively.
Yeah.
Come on. So that's exactly right.
Hey, life is a game.
It's a game. That's exactly right. It is a game.
And the clock is always ticking.
It always ticking. Look, you just like in basketball, they have a ticking clock. You can hold on to the ball all game long, but it's going to keep ticking. So you got to do, what are you going to do with the ball? Are you going to put it in the hoop, or are you going to keep it in your arms? So life is a game. And I've been playing it for a long time, and I'm sure you have too. But the thing is, we've gained so much knowledge, playing this game. And that's one of the reasons why I want to give back. I want to teach what I've learned to other people. I'm not selfish with mine. I feel like this, I want to give back. That's why I feel like God put me on this earth for a purpose. And I think my purpose is, since I didn't make it the way I wanted to make it, I start my own organization and help other people that really want to make it.
Got you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Wilbon, he is joining me this morning. This man is on fire, man. He is loaded. We need to have a series of conversations with him.
I know that's right.
If you're watching us on Facebook, do me a favor and share, tag, and invite someone else. Here's the deal. Life is loaded with principles. If you discover one principle from today's talk, your life could be changed forever. And this is free content. I don't know how much you're going to get free of us forever, because some of our services does cost, but the reality of it is this is free. And so go ahead and tag someone, share this, and allow someone else to enjoy. And for those of you watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and put on that notification bell, so every time one of these talks are going on, you can actually grab a hold of this content. We're going to do this, guys. We're doing it. Here's what I want to ask you, Dr. Wilbon. 10 years back, looking back at your life, looking back at the people you've helped, looking back at the services you've offered, what are a couple of life lessons that really come back to you now, and you like, I wish I knew, or I discovered, and now I'm embracing even the more 10 years later what I've discovered. I heard you said something too. I love the fact that you're about to be 60 and you said, man, I'm committed to being a lifelong learner, but in addition, I'm not too old to provide service to humanity. Because a lot of people at a certain point, they start checking out. They say, man, I've lived a full life. Why still give? Why still serve? Because the truth is, even though you're about to be 60, you could have another 20 years on you, another 30 years on you. Come on, to still have another 20, 30 in front of you, and to try to check out now is to rob humanity of all of that stuff you've already been acquiring over the years. So looking back, what are some of the things you want to share with our viewing audience?
Okay. First of all, what you said it is a perfect example, as far as age. Age ain't nothing but a number. Come on. It's how many years that God has blessed you with, I know people that's like 70, 80 years old, and they're still out there with kids, doing things with kids. So, I don't even look at the age factor, at all. But, as far as, what I've learned the past 10 years and what I think that, I should have done, I think that I could have been more prepared in establishing, my business, And the reason why I say that, because I ran into this guy, And I've been seeing this guy, forever. His son, both our sons go to school together. Okay. And I never knew anything about this guy. It was just something about him. And when we started talking, I found out that him and his wife owns their own business, their fitness business. Yeah. And we got to talking and everything. And then, we got to, really knowing each other. And then the next thing we're in business together. Wow. We're in business together. Mm-hmm. And his name is John Wright. And the reason why I like to, shout out people's name, because people in my path that bless me, I want them to be totally blessed as well. Yes. John Wright and Tammy Wright, they came up to me with this concept. And, they are church going people, God-fearing people. They came up with this concept that, we can get kids into church and, do things with them and do it through church. Mm-hmm. And they own their own business. It's called ABC Fitness. Connect.com. And Tammy, she's just awesome. She does Zumba, she does nutrition and the whole 9 yards. They sat me down and they talked to me about some things. And I've learned some things from them from a business perspective, how to effectively get my business to grow, how to get more people involved. And I wish I would have done that a long time ago, really, put myself out there a little bit more, using the YouTube platform, using, Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. And I think I would be huge, very huge if I've done that. So I think, in the last 10 years, that's something that I regret. I wish I could have done that. And I didn't do it because for some reason I've never liked social media, because social media can really hurt you. It can help you, greatly, but it can hurt you as well. Most certainly. And I've always feared, going on social media. So my thing is, I wish now that I would have done that 10 years ago. And I think that I would have been, a little bit more out there. People would know who I am. And, and I could, help other people and affect their lives in a positive way had I did that 10 years ago.
Man, but listen, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you sharing that. But today you're live on all of those platforms, which speaks to the fact that you're a learning leader, and you're embracing the inevitable, the things that you realize, hey, listen, this thing looks like it ain't going nowhere. I might as well embrace it. And if I'm going to embrace it, I might as well just dominate. I might as well just show up.
I'm going to be like you. I want to be like you.
Hey, listen, adapting and changing and becoming. I was talking to my son yesterday. We tried to do breakfast and have our guide time talking. And I was telling him, I said, I'm 46 this year. And in my pursuit to go to 50, I was showing him my bucket list, some things I want to do by 50. And I told him, I said, I have this big question I need your help with. And I said, I've been wanting that Mercedes G-Wagon. And so I said, I want that Mercedes G-Wagon. I said, what you think? He said, Dad, I know it's on your vision board. I know you've been talking about G-Wagon for a while. But I said, man, I've been falling in love with the Tesla. I said, I've been
falling in love with the Tesla.
Yeah, right. I said, I've been falling in love with the Tesla. And he said, Dad, the G-Wagon has been on your list for a while. But he says, to go with a Tesla, you would have stepped it up, man. He said,
you go with a Tesla, you're going to be you're going to turn heads. You get that
Come
Tesla,
on, right?
You're going to turn heads. And I know you probably already got it.
Right. Yeah. He said already got that thing, you're going to dismiss the age factor, and you would have engaged yourself in the time that we're in. That's why I'm using that story. He says the G-Wagon would be a bucket list check off for seasoned, mature, a reward. He said, but the Tesla would be you stepping into time in the current at your age. In other words,
next level.
Someone at your age could say, I don't want an electric car now, and they have to be forced to embrace the electric car. He said, if you choose to get one now, you would be embracing the inevitable, because that's where it's going. So I said, boy, you just sold a good story to me. I said, maybe I might just have to get it. Come on,
That was an excellent story.
Thank you. I'm working on becoming the best version of myself and understanding that some of the things that I may have not been so quick to embrace, just like you mentioned just now, we just got to understand, okay, I did not embrace it then, but I'm still here. And the fact that I'm still here, I am willing to embrace what I can embrace now and decide to crush it, dominate it, and show up in a strong way. Listen, talk to us about a book that you have coming up that you're going to be producing that I believe is going to help a lot of people.
Okay, and this book that I'm writing, the name of the book is Facing the Toughest Struggles of My Life from DC to DR. And what that means is DC is Washington, DC, and DR is getting my doctorate degree. And in between those times and those struggles that I faced, it's going to be talking about, where I came from, how I was living, the things that I did, and the things I wasn't proud of, the things that, I've learned along the way, and what got me strong and what made me realize that there's more for me out there in this world, and nothing, will step in my way of what I'm trying to achieve, and, and what my dreams are. And, coming from, like I said, coming from an urban background, and, not having a whole lot, and coming from a big family, it was a struggle, and it was very, very hard. And like I said, I was out there beating the pavement when I was like 10 and 11 years old. I was never at home. I used to leave the house, didn't come in, until late, because I've always wanted something. I was always a go-getter. And whenever I seen someone with something, I wanted that. And I know my parents couldn't afford that. I did everything I had to do. And within this book, it's going to tell everything, the good, the bad, the indifferent. But in the end, it's going to tell, how I got to where I am, how successful that anyone can be if they apply, their time, they apply the knowledge, and, get education and motivate themselves. A lot of times people wait for someone to motivate them. I wasn't that type of person. I was already motivated. And a lot of people are not like that. So, I think this book will help them, see that, what, I am just like him. I've come from the same background he comes from. If this guy can do it, then I can do it. And that's exactly what this book, it entails. It entails everything. And I think once, people see this book or read it, I guarantee they're going to be stuck to it. They're going to be glued to what I'm putting down. So that's
I love that. I love that. When this book is out, man, we have to do a talk again.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a talk again. Listen, help our viewing audience. In your view, you've lived a while, you've experienced a lot of incredible things. What does effective living look like to you?
Okay, effective living for me, it's like a well-oiled machine. My life is going great. I'm living my best life right now. A lot of people say that, you live your best life when you're young. I'm living my best life right now. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing exactly in my own terms. No one is pushing me and telling me what to do. I'm doing it. That's effective living as far as I'm concerned. I don't have a boss. I'm a boss. Nobody bosses me anymore.
Listen, living life on my own terms, man.
On my own terms.
Boss. Listen,
I'm a boss. You know how all the females always talk about I'm a boss? Well, I'm a boss. So I understand where they're coming from with that, but I'm a boss. I'm doing what I want to do in my own time frame. I'm retired. I'm out there. I'm coaching. I'm mentoring, and no one tells me, "Hey, you can't do this. You have to stop at this." No, my effective living is my family is doing well. My 3 boys, they're doing excellent. And I'm traveling whenever I feel like it. Nobody can tell me, well, you can't go this day. You know what we've been through, the struggles and strongholds. I don't have that anymore. So effective living for me is being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it without somebody telling you that you can't. That's effective living for me.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here live. Listen, guys, you better go back and take notes, okay? That was loaded, man. I'm going to go back and dissect that in a minute. Hey, man, our talk is almost done, man. But listen, we have a 5K here at Effective Living. We believe in faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. And we're going to re-enter that open state of engagement. Last year we went virtual for everything. Well, we're going in person. We're going to do some in person, practicing social distancing, ladies and gentlemen. But we have a 5K coming up, and it's a run walk. Some people want to walk, some people want to run. I understand that your body is the vehicle God uses to fulfill your assignment. If you want to do something great in this life, you're going to need your body for it. You're a coach. There are people who will be preparing for this 5K, and some will walk slow, some will walk fast, some will run, some will speed walk. However be it, we're encouraging people to be out there. What are 3 or 4 things for the novice runner? Just share a couple of things. You'll say, hey, if you're going out there to be at this 5K, here are a couple of things you want to do in relation maybe to a tire, a warm-up stretch, drinking water, whatever you suggest. Help us to understand what someone should consider in preparing for the upcoming Effective Living 5K run walk.
Okay, you know what? You good. You done said everything. You done already said everything that they got to do. So now I got to go behind you and think about something now. You said everything. Yeah, but you know what, though? And, within that 5K, I would say, make sure you stretch.
Yeah.
Make sure you stretch, because I don't care if you're walking. You can still pull something,
Wow.
and depending on your age, you really need to stretch. And I would also say that, do a trial walk. Do a trial walk. Go out there and see how far that you can actually do it. And I think the main objective, for this walk or the run is just to get through it. Get through it. Yep. You're doing it for a cause, and finish. That's the main thing, to finish. Don't go out there and try to beat everybody. Finish the race. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to end up, way behind. You might not even get across that finish line. So the main thing is to go out, have a good time, breathe. Make sure you're breathing correctly. Inhale, exhale, make sure you're breathing correctly. And like you said, depending on the weather, make sure you're wearing the proper attire, because that makes a difference. If you're too cold, you're not going to want to walk or run. If you're too hot, you're not going to want to walk or run. So, hydrate. That's that's another thing. Hydrate before you go, hydrate after you're done. So those type things will help you in the run and in the walk. Because I see that's the 5K run or walk. Right, so, you're going to have the ones out there that think that they can outrun everybody. They're going to have their clock on, I'm going to be, 5K, I can do it. You're going to see that. So, and a lot of them is not going to get the time that they're looking for, because you're going to have a lot of people out there. But have fun. I say with this, know that it's for a purpose, and enjoy yourself and have fun.
Hey, man, I love that, man. Hey, a couple of years ago, I did the BMW marathon.
Oh, wow.
And, I completed. And so a couple of guys were running, hey, Miller, you got to come on, man, speed up. I was like, hey, man, I'm completing, not competing.
I like that. I like that. I'm competing. I'm trying to complete. You want to compete, you go ahead and knock yourself out. But you still will see me walk across that finish line. That's finishing, the goal. Man.
I finished. You correct. I finished. Now, you know what? They were moving the cones in the back of me when I was coming across. They were opening the street, but I finished before the disqualifying time. Okay.
My thing is, they probably thought they were in the Olympics somewhere. And that's what they do. You get people out there, man. You look at them, you like, look at this guy over here. He really think that he's going to get a gold medal. Because I mean, they take, a lot of people take that serious though. They take the 5K run, and the walk, they take it serious, and people go out there and they do it all the time. But like you said, and I may have to use that one, with my track team, the one that you just said. Look, complete.
Complete.
Of course you want to compete, but complete.
And
I tell my kids that all the time. Hey, you may not come in first, but just finish.
Finish. Oh, man. Hey, closing thoughts, man. I enjoyed this talk. We're going to have to do this again. But definitely. Closing thought, whatever's on your heart, let people know how they can contact you, or keep following you online and so forth. But when it's all said and done, what's your closing thought?
My closing thought is this, that, for one, we all are here for a reason. We all have a purpose in life. Don't keep your gift to yourself. If you have a gift, share it. And I think that's very, very important, because you don't know who you can affect positively with the gift that you have. And I'm also going to be starting a YouTube platform, and the name of it's going to be called A Word from Dr. Wilbon. Okay. And it's going to be focusing on motivation, educational prowess, giving encouragement, with powerful words and meanings for everybody. And I will be doing it twice a week. I'll take a word, that's an educational word, and to motivate someone with, and I'll go into that word and apply it to, daily living, no matter, what they're doing in their life. And I'll speak on it and I'll talk about that. And that platform should be up and running. Excuse me. It should be up and running, within the next month, so that's, something that I'm going to do. And I hope you tune in and subscribe as well, because, you like I said, you're awesome. You're doing an awesome thing. And I hope everybody that's watching this just understand that Coach Ricardo Miller, he is doing his thing. And, it's, making a difference in a lot of people's lives. I watch all of his shows, and all of them are interesting. And last but not least, if you want to contact me, you can go to www.coachup.com and put in Coach Kevin Wilbon. Of course, you got to put in Maryland because they got so many coaches, and you don't want to be scrolling all over the place. So right. Put in Maryland, and you'll see, my profile. You'll see everything that I'm doing and what's going on with me. Or you can reach me at wilbonkevin6@gmail.com with your thoughts or concerns or anything that you may want to talk about, and I can definitely, get back with you on that. And last but not least, www.abcfit.connect. Go there and you'll see the youth conditioning fundamentals that me and John Wright and Tammy Wright is doing. And also, one last thing that I didn't tell you, I'm in a gospel singing group.
Come on.
And we're on YouTube, and the name of the singing group is the Committed Sons. So anybody that want to see that, go to YouTube and put in Committed Sons, the Committed Sons, and you'll see our singing group. What we do, we take R&B music, throw it in with the gospel lyrics, and it's old school. It's old school music. Old school music. You think you're hearing the dramatics, but we're talking about God.
Come on.
So
I'm gonna check that out today.
So you need to do that. And the founder of that is Rodney Roach and Richard Pledger. They got together, they do the lyrics and they do the steps and they do everything. I'm just the business manager, but I'm also a baritone singer. Check that out. That's how you can reach me, and that's how you can see what I'm doing.
Dr. Wilbon, thank you so much, man, for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a great conversation. I enjoyed it to the fullest. Once again, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Everyday Effective Living. What we're trying to do is help you to identify the combination to the lock. Once you know those numbers, you become familiar with it. It allows you to open it up and get access to everything else behind that lock. Here's the deal. You were created to win. If you don't like where you are, make some adjustments, because you don't have to stay stuck. You're not a fish. You don't have to stay in that pond right at that particular spot. Change location if necessary. Take control of your body and join me and my team at our upcoming 5K, guys. The 5K is necessary because your body is the tool God uses to fulfill your assignment. So you don't want to find yourself with time but not taking care of your body. That's a problem. Okay, so do what you got to do. Make sure you register for the upcoming 5K run. It's going to be great. And here's the deal. Bring your family, bring your friends. It could be a great social time. And it also could be a time where you reflect. And for those of you who want to walk and just, where we're having this Legacy Parks here in Arlington, Texas, it's between Dallas and Fort Worth. If you're anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, join us. Here's the deal. You can take that nice Saturday morning walk, reflect, think, pray, and take care of your body all at the same time. It's going to be really, really good. So go to ricardomiller.com and register. Dr. Wilbon, we're coming back with you, man. And I'm looking forward to your book, and I'm looking forward to your YouTube channel launch. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. This man is doing it. And you can hear he has excitement and massive interest in engaging in life, even at this stage, to ensure that the rest of his life, too, is the best of his life. I like what he said. I'm living my best life. Come on.
Living my best life. That's right. And God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good. Yes, sir. God bless you guys. Have a great day.
Take care.